Everybody, welcome back to Bobby's Bees, and today we're out in the bee yard, we're feeding. It's the first week in September, and it's that time of year where you've probably already pulled some honey, and there is a couple hives that we still have to go through because right before wintertime we like to consolidate down to about two deep boxes. And it's a nice system because we get our honey and now we're going to feed them sugar syrup. Sugar syrup doesn't have the same viscosity as honey. It's easy for the bees to eat and overwinter, and it's kind of a good thing. So you can help them overwinter, and you already got your real good pure honey, raw honey. Over the last few years we've tried different methods in feeding our bees and adding everything from essential oils to Honey Bee Healthy. You could even feed fumagillin, which helps with bee dysentery or diarrhea, or also known as nosema. Your bees are going to do well if you just feed them sugar syrup. There's no guarantees, but you always want to maximize. I got a cicada bug in the background. You always want to maximize your chances by making sure your bees are healthy going into the winter time. And out here in the bee yard we have about 20 hives this season. We sold a few. Next year we're going to be selling even more. So if you want some bees, be sure to let us know. You can get on bobbysbees.com and make a reservation. We can make sure you get your bees next year. Be sure to make a reservation because they fill up really quick in the springtime, and you want to make sure you get your reservation in early. Doesn't cost anything. You don't want to have too many hives in the yard because then you don't have a chance to go through them all and make sure they're all healthy. We have about 20 out here, like I said, and that's just the right amount for me. I'm the only one out here in the yard working them. So right now we're going to feed our bees. We have a really easy method. You can either open feed your bees, and we've had videos on that. I can put the video up in the corner for you if you'd like to see that. But there's different ways you can feed your bees. You can try Honey Bee Healthy, you can try essential oils. There's lots of different things that you can do. Some are expensive, some are less expensive. But really, at the end of the season, after you've pulled your honey, now's the time to feed your sugar syrup because you're going to help these bees over winter. You want your bees in the springtime, and if anything, just feed them sugar syrup. That's going to give them a fighting chance. It's kind of a good system because you got your raw honey, and this time of year you're going to feed sugar syrup, and you don't really want the sugar syrup honey. You want the bees to have that. Now, of course, you can open feed, and I'll put a video up in the corner if you'd like to see how we do that. That's a really simple method. This time of year, a really easy way to concentrate the feed on a certain hive. We have a few late season splits and swarms, and there's two different things you can do. You can either try to build them up to the point where they have about 2 deep boxes full where you can overwinter here in Michigan winters, or you can just try to combine these hives. In the fall is when you want to go through your yard and really start picking out the better queens and eliminating the lesser queens. You want to squish and combine, or you want to feed. Now, some of these hives look really good and they're already ready to bust up into a second box, and those are the ones that we're going to feed and make sure that they can fill out their box. So the bees are only going to take the sugar syrup when it's above 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So you want to make sure you're only feeding the syrup up into that point. So you're going to feed these hives on the very top. You can put in a hollowed out cased hive body, and we just use a little eek board that we made out of 1x4, and we put the feeder, the pan feeders in. So say you have some late splits and they just didn't build up the way you wanted. You can always take a really good queen and a really bad queen, squish the bad queen, put a piece of paper over the hive that's good, and then just put the bees on top from the bad hive that is now queenless because you squished the queen. Put that right on top of the good hive. A few days, maybe a week at the latest, they're going to make their way through that newspaper. The pheromone from the queen is going to enter the queenless hive, and then they're going to accept that queen, and that's a terrific way to introduce a whole box of bees and eliminate the fighting. So I'll show you guys how easy this is. Okay, so we got our syrup, we got our smoke. We won't really need a lot of smoke, so hopefully not anyway. We got these up top. I just calmed them a little bit. And then we're going to take this feeder, which is just like this. It's a little cup right there. It's called a pan feeder, top feeder, rapid feeder. They got a lot of different names. Put that right over the top like that. And all we do is we just fill it up. Boom. They are fed. You probably didn't get a very good view of that. Okay. Got a little piece of grass in there. Okay, so these little boards, these 1x4s that we made, and then we just put a little vent in there, they work great. Okay. Now this hive right here is a little, the one that's right next to this hive is a shorter hive, and I'm not gonna worry about that hive because we're gonna squish that queen because she's not performing very well. So I'm gonna try to get these bees to go down a little bit. There we go. Okay. We have one more feeder to fill, so we can't really go too nuts with this. Sugar syrup, we only can fill it up about halfway. I don't even want to pull that grass out because that sugar syrup is so sticky. This is about nearly 2 to 1. Usually we just do 1 to 1. Oh, got a baby rabbit right there. Calm them down a little bit. What in the world? We got a big old spider in here. Look at the spider. Whew. Look at that thing. Man. Okay, so feeder time, feeder time. Okay, so they'll actually drink all this down in about a day, maybe 2 days. Oops, I did that upside down. And you want to come out here and refill them every few days. Like I said, you are really filling them out. They're packing out for the winter time, and they'll be all set to go here in 1 month. I'm getting buzzed now. Oh, it was just the weeping willow.